stories, psukim, drushes, etc. Which on one hand is easier, on one hand it's complicated. But okay, Givaldik. Let's get going, and then we do need to do a good chazar, especially the last bit over here with Chanukah and Das. We need a good chazara. So good, we'll finish. That will be the impetus to Chazar. Mirz Hashem. Mirz Hashem. Okay, let's hit it. Let's start. We're really up to Tanavir Rabbi Yishmael Mem Tesam and Aleph. Bereshis, one of the less known drushas of Bereshis. But let's just go back, just to know where we're holding. Just go back to the third line. The third line of Mem Tes Amid Aleph. Omar Rabba Bar Chana. Omar Rabbi Yochanan. Shitin. These shitin were these hollow pipes that ran underneath the mizbeach. Says Rabbi Rachana, the name of Yochanan, shitin mishishas yimei bereshis nivru, were created from the 6 days of creation, which means that they were part of the creation of the world, that within the makom of the mizbeach, underneath it, there was this pipe, this hollow area that ran all the way. So Shitim Yishis Me Bereshis Nivru Shenamar, how do we know this? Chamuke Yirichayich, they were concealed flanks, literally, Kemoy Chaloim, like jewels, Maisi Yedei Uman, the work of a craftsman. How do we darshan? That's the pasuk. And again, just to remind ourselves, every time we have drushes, it's more of a poetic license almost that the Gemara takes to dissect a pasuk and allow it to mean something which it might not seem to mean. Says the Gemara, Chamuke Yirichayich, what does that refer to? What are these concealed items? Elu Ashitin. Thank you so much, man. These are the shitin, these are these pipes. Kimoi Chalaim, and they're like Chalaim. Now the word Chalaim in the pasuk means jewels, but we're darshaning it Kamoi Chalaim, which means what? Shemichoilalin, that were hollowed out, V'yardim, and literally descended, they went down, Ad Hatahoim, until the depths. Maisi Yedei Uman, what does it mean, the work of a craftsman? Ze Maisi Yedei Umnasai Shal Kadosh Baruch Hu. This is the work of the umness, of the craftsmen of God. And this is where the Gemara is learning out that these hollow pipes under the Mizbeach, Erev Tov Rabbi Yaakov, these hollow pipes underneath the Mizbeach were miraculous. They were there for the creation of the world, and they went straight all the way from under the Mizbeach, all the way at the Tahayim, which literally is till the depths. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehakol niyeh b'dorei. Tana very Shema. This is new Gemara. Tana very Shema. Bereshis, literally in the beginning. I'll take bereshis. Many drushes learned out of this word bereshis, but this is a less known one. I'll take bereshis. Don't read it bereshis. Ella bara shis. That Hashem created shis. Hashem created these pipes that are going down until the shitin, that's the word shis, the shitin, these pipes that go till the depths. Tanya Rabbi Yosi Omer, Rabbi Yosi learns shitin, these pipes, mechulalin were hollow, v'yardin and descended, Erev Tov Rav Menachem, ad hatahoim until the depths. Shenamar. So where do we learn that from? So the first pasuk we learned it out from was what? Chamuki Yirichayich. Now, the second pasuk we learned it out from was Bereshis. The third pasuk we learned it out from Shenemar. We're smack in the middle of Mem Tesam and Aleph. Ashira na liadidi shiras doidi likarmoi. This is a pasuk in Yeshaya, and the pasuk continues. Just to read the pasuk, and then the Gemara will darshan it. Kerem hayo liadidi bekeren ben Shem. And this is all the pasuk. I'll translate in a moment. Vayazku vayisalku vayitu shirek vayiven migdol b'toichai v'gam yikev chotzav boy vayitaehu. It's actually funny. It skips a word. That's so funny. That's so funny. The word vayitaehu. No, excuse me. What's going on here? Yeah, they messed up the pasuk. Anyone see what I'm saying? I'm sorry, I'm talking to myself. Look at the side by the Gimel, right? Ashira Nali Yididi. Yeah, just follow the pasuk along. And just look, there's a mistake somewhere here. Shira Nali Yididi. Shiras Daidi. So far, so good. Like Karmai. And again, we'll translate. Ashira Nali Yididi. I should sing for my beloved. Shiras Daidi. A song of endearment or belovedment to Likarmai for his vineyard. Kerem Hayali Yididi. There was a vineyard to my beloved. Bekeren ben Shemen, in the corner of a fertile field. Vayizaku literally means they cried out, but you'll see in a moment it's not what it means over here. Vayizaku vayisalkuhu. Salkuhu means they encircled it. So it means over here is that they encircled it and they enclosed it. Vayitehu, and they planted shoyrek, and they planted choice plants. Vayiven migdal b'toichai, and they built a tower inside of it. V'gam yikev chotzav boy, and they cut the wine vat. The word is, this is the article word, Hewn. How do you pronounce that one? Hewn. No. My brain, it just sounds weird, but that's what it means. They chiseled it out. Now, what's the next word? Vayita ehu, right? In the pasuk. What does your Gemara say though? Vayitehu, which
maybe that's not part of the pasuk. Maybe the pasuk's ending there.
So it's just weird because it's only darshaning. No, it's darshaning. I know, but I'm just, the point I'm pointing out is that the Gemara quoted a whole long pasuk, and it's darshaning the second half of the pasuk. You're correct. I'm just good. Period. Okay. But I'm yikav chatzavai. The pasuk ends off. If you look at the pasuk, vayikav lasas anavim v'yasas bisha. Good. Now the Gemara darshans only the second half of the pasuk. Again, we're quoting two psukim. From Ashira until Ba, you could put into quotations. From Ashira until Ba, you could put in quotations. And after Ba, now the Gemara starts darshaning. But again, let's be clear. We're only darshaning the second half of the pasuk. Okay? Vayita'eyu shayrek, which literally means he planted choice plants, like good plants. Says the Gemara, you know this refers to Zeh Beis HaMikdash. And then when the pasuk continues and says, Vayiven migdal b'toichai, and he built a tower in the center. Zeh mizbeach, v'gam yikev chotzev boy, and also the wine vat was chiseled in. Elu hashitin. These are the shitin. These are the pipes that go from under the mizbeach all the way down until the tahaim, until the depths. So to summarize, the last 12 lines, which in reading and in words are very hard, but in understanding it's very simple. Three sources that under the Mizbeach, there were these shitin, there were these hollow pipes that ran from under the Mizbeach ad ta'im all the way to the depths. What are the three sources? Number one, Chamuki Yirechayich, that pasuk. Number two, Bereshis. And number three, the pasuk that we just quoted. Are we all clear? Is anyone want me to translate any of the words? They're just hard words, but anyone, do we get them down or we want to do it again? Everyone got them down? Should we read it again? Go weiter. Anyone have any words that we missed? Read it again. Let's go back one more time. Tanya. Rabbi Yossi Omer. Smack him along. Shitin. Mechulalin. Hollow pipes. V'yardin. And they went down adatim until the depths. Which is the same statement. The third time we're saying it. The first one was Rabbi Chanan, Rabbi Yochanan. The second one was Rabbi Shmuel. The third one is Rabbi Yossi. Where do we learn it out from? Shenemar. Ashira nali yedidi. I'm going to sing to my beloved Shiraz doidi lekarmai. A song of my beloved concerning his kerem, concerning his vineyard. Kerem ayeli yedidi. There was a vineyard to my beloved. Bekeren ben Shemen, in the corner of a fertile field. Vayizaku, and he encircled it. Vayisalkuhu, and he fenced it in. So in reality, that first pasuk and a half, really we don't need to quote it all. Just so you know what's going on over here. It's the end of the pasuk that says, Vayita'ehu shayrak, and he planted shayrak, which again are good plants. Vayiven, and he built migdal b'toichai, a tower in the center. V'gam yikev chatzabai, and he chiseled out a wine vat. So there's three parts of the end of the pasuk that we're learning out. Number one, that he planted these choice shoots. Number two, that he built the tower. And number three, that he chiseled out the wine vats. Those three parts of the statement, says the Gemara, mean as follows. Number one, Vayiteu Shayrak, and he planted these choice shoots, says the Gemara, Zeh Beis HaMikdash. This refers to the Beis HaMikdash. Vayiven Migdal B'Taychai, and he built a tower in the center. What does that refer to? Zeh Mizbeach. That's the Mizbeach. V'gam Yikev Chatzev Boy, and he chiseled out this wine vat. Ilu. This refers to Hashitin. So basically, we're homiletically, I believe is the right article term. We are darshaning the end of this pasuk to teach us that the Beis Hamikdash was built in the center, the Mizbeach. Under the Mizbeach were these hollow pipes. And again, let's just remind yourselves, where did this come within our sugya? This came back from in the Mishnah. We spoke of the Nisuch Hayayin and the Nisuch Hamayim. Sukkot has a special procedure, special procession that they did what? They poured the water. And we spoke about back in the Mishnah. If those who did Chazar Gavaldik, those who didn't, we'll get to Chazar soon. We spoke with the fact they poured the wine and the water at the same exact time. Again, wine is more viscous than water. Machloek is two shitas. If you remember, whether the pipe was bigger, the hole was bigger, whether the spout was bigger. Very good. And it went into the Mizbeach. Where did it go? It went through the Mizbeach. And what did it do when it got to the floor? In the floor, under the Mizbeach, were these shitin, these holes, these pipes literally in the ground. Who created these pipes? God. When did he create them? During the 6 days of creation. 3 sources to this din. Very good. Tanya, we learned in a brayso. Amar Rav Sadok, lol katan, lol katan. A lol is a window. A window, we'll see, or a lul actually is like a chicken coop. Just means a box. It's really what the word lul means. Rashi over here says it's more like a window, but you're going to see it's more like a trap door. Listen what's going on over here. Lul katan, there was this small window, this small box, where haya bin kavesh limizbeach. Between the kevesh is the ramp. The keves, by the way, is an animal. This is a word that we all mess up always. I've probably said it 1 billion times and I still mess it up. Kevesh is a ramp. Keves is the sheep. We're talking about the ramp. So there was this little square, this window, literally, as we'll see, between the ramp and the Mizbeach. Bima'aravi shal kevesh, on the western side of the ramp. Okay, so what was this little window, this little box? Va'achas l'shivim shana. Once every 70 years, Pirchei Kahuna, the young Kohanim, the kids, Yardin Lisham, would go into this hole, Umilaktin Misham, and they would gather from it Yayin Karush, congealed wine. Shedaimeh, that resembled li'igule dvela, cakes of figs. Uba'in, and they would come v'sarfin isai, and they would burn it be'kedusha, with kedusha.
The dried wine that they pour down?
Oh, that's what it sounds like. It's exactly what it sounds like.
Or they're gonna burn the...
That's what it sounds like. It sounds like it was a that's the kasha. That's the kasha, by the way. Didn't it say that it went out of Tahim? So what's going on here? So let's see a Rashi in a minute. Out of Tahim? It doesn't sound like these kids were climbing miles. What's this, like the Arab tunnels over here? It just goes and goes. I'm asking.
Maybe it's that, whatever.
Well, let's see.
There's solids, but the liquid went to the Tahim.
Okay, good. Let's see. Let's finish the Gemara. We're going to see there's a long Rashi here. But let's get there in a minute. 1 second. We quote a pasuk by Kodesh Hasech Nesech Shechar Lashem, and from there we darshan out Kishem, just like Shenisuchai, that it was poured b'kedusha. Kach, so too Sarif Fasai was b'kedusha with kedusha. Okay, so the Gemara is teaching us that there was this little window, this trap door between the ramp and the Mizbeach in the western side, that once every 70 years, they went down. So let's look at Rashi for a minute. The Rashi tries to figure out what exactly is going on over here.
Once every 7 years, maybe they were replacing the pipe or whatever.
So,
Yeah.
So I'm going to skip to the end of Rashi to make things simpler before we go back. Look at, I don't know if you have the same lines. Look at 2, 4, 6 lines for the end of the Amud. The last line in the very long Rashi, the first one line I think is Vahai Tana. See Vahai Tana less lay? You see that? Rashi says Vahai Tana, and this Tana less lay does not hold Shahayu Shitim, that there were pipes Yardim that went down Atoi.
I don't understand. What?
This isn't like a Mishnah bringing down a halacha.
Good.
Well, that kind of either it happened or it didn't.
Very good kasha. Very good kasha. It's a very good kasha. And happens to me, there's lots of Torah, particularly about when we learn Beis Hamikdash in Yanim, that like there was this thing called the Beis Hamikdash. It was around for hundreds of years. How do we have nuanced debates? No one paid attention. What was going on? It's massive machlekes Rishonim how to deal with these things. It's a real kasha.
Once every
It's a
7 years,
kasha.
it's not a very
Oh.
often
So
thing.
that's what I was thinking. So that happens once every 70 years.
No one else. It sounds like no one went in
I
there.
think just the opposite. It's one of these.
It's like Birchas Lachama. It's like the whole matzah.
It's one of these weird things that happens once in a
But-
lifetime. Like
Maybe was there a space between the
everyone has a different version of the story.
thing
Also,
coming down
this
from his
thing
bath
that
and the one on the
isn't
floor?
like,
Maybe it's splattered out. Maybe it's
random shul. Like, there's no.
Yeah, but it only happened 4 or 5.
But again, it's the
It
Beis
happened
Hamikdash. There's
more than like 10 times.
Right, I'm assuming in like the Kahana Maka room, there's like like
How
don't
ca-
forget.
the how to.
How can they make of
The how to.
But like don't forget, to do Mishmar Aleph,
Yeah.
60 years till we have to clear out the under his bath.
Countdown time.
Countdown.
That'd be exciting.
Yeah. Again, I don't have much more to say. The first half of Rashi goes into more of the technical, where exactly this hole was. That's where Rashi's very busy in the first half of the Rashi. Rashi over there seems to indicate that it was, again, if you didn't hold that there were these pipes, then it all makes a lot of sense. Because then what happens? What happens is you pour the wine, it goes through the hole, it gets to the floor. Now what does it do? It just sort of sits there, and then I guess it sort of seeps into the ground. And then after many years, if they have this trapdoor matzav, you could sort of clean out the garbage. I don't have a better answer for now. I was bothered by the kasha. Rashi Lamaisa addresses it, but that's that. Now we have to see one more drop in the Gemara, because the Gemara is gonna a shtickle point this out. Let's see one more drop in the Gemara. My mashma says back into Amud Beis. So again, there was this hole. They cleaned it out one every 70 years. Then they burnt it in kedusha.
The thing goes straight the pipes. Did he?
Oh, so that's what Yaakov was saying.
He's mini golf.
That's what Yaakov was saying. Very good. That's what Yaakov was saying. Maybe there was a little bit of a spillover matzav. It just, to me, I'm bothered that if this is one of the nisim, meishishis me bracious, God could do it perfectly. So why, if the whole vart is this was like a godly creation, that there are these pipes, then the whole vart is that there's pipes and it goes out of time and it disappears. So that's why l'chayra Rashi is the easiest pshat. It historically is a very, very shver point, but it's easiest pshat to say that there's a machlekes what happened over here. But yeah, I'm very much with everyone. But let's go a little weiter. My mashma says the Gemara. Where do we see this last drasha that just like it was burnt with kedusha, just like it was poured with kedusha, has been burnt with kedusha? Amar Avina. I'll tell you where we learn that from. Asya Kadesh Kadesh. Ksiv Hachat says over here about Kodesh Haseich Nesch, that with holiness it should be poured. Uksiv Hasam, and it sells elsewhere, Visarafta, and you shall burn. Es HaNoisar, the leftovers, Ba'ish, with fire, Lo Yi'achel, it should not be eaten, Ki Kadeshu, because it's holy. So the same word, Kadesh, is used in both places, so that's what we learn out, that it has to be done with Kedusha.
Yeah, but the end of that pasuk also says that you should not eat it, and I'm pretty sure no one's gonna try to eat this.
No, it's true. We're just trying to figure out how do we know that when it's burnt, it has to be done with kedusha. It's because of Xerusha. because of Gzeir Shava. Let's see where we holding good. Let's go a little weiter. Tomorrow night's a chazar night, anyways. I know it's the whole week's messed up, but it's good because we're here. This is very gishmak. Kaman Azlaha. Kaman Azlaha Titania. Who's again? So Rashi helped us because if you don't learn Rashi at this point, you're not going to know what the Gemara did. Because we learned Rashi, don't ever say we didn't. Because we learned Rashi, we now know that there's two shitas going on over here. One shita holds there's sheeting going all the way down, and one shita holds there's not. Says the Gemara, Kaman Azla Hadatanya. This brisa goes like whom? That says, what's the brisa? Nisachim, the libations, betchila moyalin bahem. That what? In the beginning, there's a din of mi'ila. Now, what is the din of mi'ila? Mi'ila means anything that is kaddish, anything that is holy. If you use it for a mundane purpose, you're over mi'ila, you transgress mi'ila, which means it's called you deconsecrate it in English. To say, for example, this table is kaddish, it's a shul table. If I go and I take this table and I decide to use it for my firewood to heat up my house for the Super Bowl party, that would be mi'ila. I'm using an item of kaddish for a mundane purpose. So says the Gemara, the nisachim in the beginning, before you poured them, what were they? They were kedusha, sitting in a bottle. What is it? Wine to pour or water to pour? So there's a din of mi'ilo that if you misuse or abuse or any other word with the miss in it, then I couldn't think of a third one. Then you're over mi'ila. Now yardu lishitin says the brayso. So once it goes into the pipe, ein mayalin bahem. There's no din of mi'ila anymore. Says the Gemara. Oh, but one second. Let's just think about it. Who does this go like? According to the second opinion, that there was a trap door, that they pull out all the wine, and what it say you have to do what with it? Burn it bikidusha. That shows us that what? There would yes be mi'ila. According to the first opinion that said it goes all the way to the depths, then there's not. Says the Gemara, Lema, Rav Elazar Rav Sadaki. Why? Dirabanan hanachli lahu. So the first step that the Gemara makes is what you said, which is what? It's not here anymore.
Right.
Where's the wine? What's your whole shayla? There's mi'ila. According to the Rabbanan, it's 5,000 feet on the ground. It's mi'ila. What sheikh is mi'ila? You can't get it. So says the Gemara, no. Afilu tema, I'm going to tell you it is the Rabbanan. Be de iklit. Oh, now this is, look at Rashi. This is what everyone was suggesting before. Iklit literally means to collect. So it's an anamanapia. Iklit, collect. Oh, almost. Says Rashi on the last wide line, almost. Collect. Yeah, okay, it's not perfect. What should I tell you? And symbol sounds like symbol. I don't know. They make these things up. Te'iklit. Says the Gemara, if anyone would spell anamanapia, double points. Weiter.
I get the drinking in the sink.
Yeah. Te'iklit. Oh, Zag Rashi. Im tola kli b'teichashitin. Let's say you hung a kli inside the pipe, vikibel, and you caught the wine. Now, what's bothering all of us? Come on, it's ridiculous. God created the greatest, escape route for the wine, and we're like sticking out a cup. All they can think of is, I don't know, it's probably like some sort of school. I can imagine, the Yayin Esach wine that we caught from. Yeah, there you go. Blessed by the Rebbe. Either way, says the Gemara. So l'chayra, we can say it is the Rabbanan, and even though the Rabbanan normally hold it goes to the depths, over here it doesn't because they caught it. Vikadi Amri, a second pshat. Again, Ikadi Amri, very important, means what? A second lashon. Ikadi Amri always means we're going to say what we just said in a little bit of a different nusach. It's important to realize that, or else you just get confused because it sounds like we just said backwards. That's exactly what an Ikadi Amri is. Vikadi Amri, Lemo Rabbanani. Let's suggest that this brisa that said that the libations have a din of mi'ila in the beginning and not once they go into the pipes is the Rabbanan V'loi Rav Elazar Rav Sadak. Why? Di Rav Elazar Rav Sadak, Di Rav Elazar. Akati b'kedusha sayu kaimi. According to Rav Elazar, who's Rav Elazar again? Rav Elazar was the one that said the little kids went down and did what? got the wine. And what do you have to do when you get the wine? You have to burn it by Kedusha. So according to Rav Elazar, it still has Kedusha. Therefore, there should, yes, be a din me'ila even in the pipe. Answers the Gemara, no. Afilu Tamer Rav Elazar, why? A new teretz, and we stop with this. Ein l'chadavar shenase mitzvasai u'moyelin boy. It's impossible that you could do the mitzvah and then be over me'ilah. It's a little bit of a brain twister, but let's think about it for a moment. What does me'ilah mean? Taking something kaddish and using it for a non-kaddish purpose. Once the mitzvah is finished, what's the kedusha now? It's finished. Good. So we have a lot of things that we know. What do you mean? We have the rule. If something, if my tzitzis ribs, I want to use it. It's true. It's true, but no, those are that's how I brought down Mr. Brewer. That's what I brought down Mr. Brewer. Not just burning the way. So all these things that once you do a mitzvah with it, you continue the mitzvah. I think the answer is it's a nuance of continue doing a mitzvah with it versus having mi'ilah is a high level of kedusha. Mi'ilah is not just like mi'ilah is a din. It's almost a pasuk, I think it's even learned out from, which means it's called your over mi'ilah. So the Gemara is saying once the mitzvah is finished, it's just impossible that you could do mi'ilah now. That's the only way l'chayr.
You use the word me'ilah also by brachas. You don't make a bracha.
Yeah, I remember.